tonight you're going to be able to see some of my geckos up close as I go over what morphs they are and what makes them special. Hey there, my name is Josh. I am the host of Crestie Conversations here on the Geckoverse podcast channel. Welcome in. I hope all of you are ready for a fun hour of seeing, or fun half hour of all of my geckos. A little up close and personal. So I wanted to, last week on our episode, we had John Pastula from Killer Exotics 2022. We learned about some of his geckos, and he works with crested geckos and gargoyle geckos. If you missed that, go check him out on Instagram, or you can go see our last episode and you'll see it there. So without further ado, let's get into it. So today, we're going to be talking about morphs. This little dude right here, his name is Bo. Okay? As some of you know, Bo is the first crested gecko that I got, and he's a really cool little dude. He is known as a tricolor harlequin. What a harlequin means is this patterning on the side of him right here and on the legs that you see there. That is called harlequin marking. Now, if he had a little bit of patterning on the sides here and then nothing on the legs, that would make him a flame crested gecko. Okay? But he is not. And tricolor means three colors, of course. So you can see here on his side, if he wants to participate, he has a little bit of orange, white on top, and then his base color is brown. So Bo is a 10-year-old crested gecko? 8-year-old crested gecko. I think he's turning 9 this year. So this is Bo, the tricolor harlequin crested gecko. All right. So give me a moment while I get out my next gecko. The next guy is going to be Hercules. Hercules was the first breeder male that I got. I got him from Altitude Exotics. A lot of you may know Brian. Let's get him out. So Bo was my first crested gecko. I didn't really think about breeding at the time. I was just like, oh, this is really cool. I really wanted to get into it. Once I got into it, I was like, let me see what morphs I like. There's a ton of different morphs. Everyone works with their own little morphs. He is, of course, going to be a little bitey tonight. It is breeding season, but it will be okay. Hercules that you see here is a quad stripe crested gecko. But so what I first wanted to get into was pinstripes. These white lines that go all the way down the gecko, those are known as pins or crests. The crests are right up here at the edge of the head, okay? And then the pins down the bottom that are white, or down the dorsal right here, those pins, when they're completed all the way over, they are known as a pinstripe, a full pinstripe. Now, if it's broken, if there's a couple pins missing here that are brown, black, whatever the base color of your gecko is, that will mean it is a partial pinstripe. A quad stripe, coming from the name 4, that means it has 4 white lines going down. So you'll have the basic 2. You'll see the basic 2 of the pinstripes going all the way down. And then on the sides here, you will see a white line down the middle of his side on both sides. He is not participating with me tonight. Yeah, I know. But you'll see... Let me not flick you off here. 2 white lines all the way down. Now, the other cool thing about Hercules here is that he is a C2 crested gecko. C2 is a morph that Brian Altitude Exotics works with a lot. C2 means that it takes all of the pigment. And so here, for people that ask if crested gecko bites hurt, they do not. They just like to look fierce. It does not hurt at all. It's just because it is breeding season. They like to look mean, but they are not. So he'll stop this in a minute when he realizes I'm not a female. I had females out that I'll show you later that is the reason why he's biting me. So C2 means that it takes all of the dirty pigment and it brightens it up. So when it fires up, you'll see just very bright, vibrant colors. So that is really cool. Hercules, I have bred him twice so far. The reason I haven't done it more is because Athena, she's pretty much like a super breeder. She produced 18 babies, like live babies, her first season breeding ever. So that was really crazy. And then the next, not the next year, the year after that, I paired him with Princess Leia, and I got I think 9 or 10 kids from them. So I just had a lot of bloodlines from them. So I didn't want to keep getting more and more because then it just makes it harder and harder to breed because you don't want to inbreed. That is not good. Um, some people do to when you discover a new morph to verify that morph, you do inbreed the parent to the sibling. Unfortunately, uh, I have not done any of that myself. I have not worked with many new morphs at all. I work with morphs that have already been established. So yeah, so Hercules is a very nice dude. So I have what 18 or 28 kids from him. I've sold a bunch of them, but I still have a lot of his bloodlines left. So he is just a super sweet dude most of the time. He's the one, when you see me at shows, I'm like, oh, hey, this is the dude. If you work with your crested gecko a lot, this guy, he'll watch a movie with me, like sit on my chest. That's this little dude right here. All right, Hercules. Um, when he's not trying to mate with me, he is a really chill dude and likes to hang out and watch movies with me. Uh, you do have to watch though. He does know when to self-regulate his like body temperature, make sure he's not trapped. So he will be like on my chest. When he gets too warm, he just goes down to my couch. After he goes down to the couch and cools off, then he comes back up, wanting to be with me. And that's the story of Hercules. Let me go ahead and get my next crested gecko out that I wanted to show off to y'all. The next morph I wanted to talk about is Extreme Harlequin. We talked about Harlequin earlier. We're going to talk about Extreme Harlequin now, okay? I'm going to get out Helios here. He is from Rockstar Geckos. Helios. Amazing. So I said Extreme Harlequin is when they have this patterning on the sides of them and on their legs. But when the patterning goes all the way up to the above the midway line on the side here, when it goes above the midway line, you consider that a Extreme Harlequin. And you can see here Hercules has a ton of patterning on his sides. He has that yellow and the white on him, making him a tricolor crested gecko. So he is an extreme Harlequin tricolor. If you look real close here, you see this white stuff that's coming down. This white stuff that's coming down from his dorsal right here, his back. We call that drippy. There's also another term for it. It can show up in geckos as the drippy trait, as to where it comes down from the sides. If you will pay attention here. So when you see it on the sides there, the white coming down from the very top of the dorsal, that is drippy. It also comes up as white spots. So you'll generally see either or. I've seen maybe one gecko with both, but I don't really just see it. So you'll have the drippy or white spots, which will be on the back legs. All right, so very nice structure as well. Remember, I went over in structure. You're going to have a very short mouth. So you can see here, very short mouth. A very wide head, where you can do like almost a triangle or a diamond. Where you can do a triangle on top, triangle on bottom. And then this dorsal right here, the neck, you want that to be as wide right here as it is all the way down the gecko. Okay, so that is signs of good structure in a crested gecko. This little dude, he's awesome. Huge. I just got him. He's a first-year breeder this year. He just paired with Scarlet, my lavender extreme Harlequin. So I am super excited for those babies to come. I'm going to be pairing him to Peaches. That is a extreme Harlequin tricolor Extreme Harlequin Lily White that I have. I have not had any luck pairing them together yet, but I just got Helios to pair with Scarlet last week, so big hopes there. So there we go. That is Helios, the Extreme Harlequin. Let me get out my next guest. So Helios goes back right in here. So I wanted to show off this dude again. Not again, but this guy off again. So he's kind of a brighter C2. He is a child of Hercules and Athena. So he's a nice quad stripe. This is Thor, a very chill dude, just like Hercules. He's an awesome guy. So you see he's yellow. He's a C2. It's kind of fired down right now, but he's a very, very nice yellow in him. And this white that you see underneath the quad line, so that's the quad line there, all of this white underneath, that makes it is called a white wall. So when it's fully white underneath that, oh, and he peed on my laptop. That's great. Usually you don't do that. Oh well. We're gonna adapt. He already pooped, so I don't know why he's peeing again. But anyways, so again, you can see he has the full pinstripe going all the way down the back, and the full line on both sides of him, making him a quad stripe crested gecko. All right. Quad stripes is something I really enjoy working with. This year I have one quad stripe pairing going. That is Aphrodite, the sister to him. She is more of a like black base, and so none of this patterning, none of this patterning that you see above the quad line. She doesn't have any of that. So when you have that, I tend to think that this is patterning, but people say it's just a reverse pen because there is a little bit of negative space all the way down underneath the pen line. So when you look at the pen line, right under it, there's a little dark line that is a reverse pen stripe. So people say it's quad stripe or reverse pen. I guess it's just whatever you want to call it is what you can. Okay. So moving right along, let me get a paper towel to clean up the pee on my laptop so it doesn't sink in. Because I don't want the pee in my laptop. Okay. Then moving right along, this little fella I got here, his name is Adonis. Adonis is a crested gecko that I got from Southern Raised Exotics from Tom. He's a breeder in Georgia. Again, I wanted to show you extreme harlequin patterning here. So again, he has beautiful structure. Okay, he has very nice structure and just tons of patterning on the sides. So you can see just tons and tons of patterning. He is not a full pinstripe. This is a broken pattern. I believe that comes from the tiger gene as well coming across. Tiger is when you have these lines across the back, when they go all the way across and then over onto the sides, that is an indicator of a tiger morph or tiger marking. All right, so just let me know if any of y'all have any questions at any time during the broadcast. Any of my geckos that you've seen that you want me to bring out special, I can do that as well. So this is Adonis. He is still a little young right now. He almost exited out. I'm glad he didn't. So yes, crested geckos, they can mess with your screen as well, and they can close apps. So be careful of that when you're doing that. So Adonis is a very, very nice extreme harlequin. He is not ready to breed yet, but he will be ready to breed next season, and I will be able to produce very, very nice extreme harlequins. So you can see he's packed with all that white patterning on the sides. I love that. He has he has the white spot trait. So if you can see, I don't think it's kind of hard. On the back leg here, he has a couple white spots. So it'll show up, like I said, you have the white spot or drippy dorsal. It comes up as that. So yeah, very, very nice male. Thank you, Tom. He's very, very nice. Thank you, Northern Herper. Welcome, man. Good to see y'all tonight. This is a very nice structure as well. Look at how wide the head is. Whoop. There we go. And let me put this little man up real quick, and I will keep on going on. Wait, no, that's not you. That's not you. This is you. All right. So let me get out my Super Dalmatian, okay? This is what I'm very proud of. He's my first year production. So my breeder male is Chocolate Chip right here. I got him from AJD Reptiles. I paired him to a female that I got out from a Craigslist ad. He said he got her from Florida. It was a red spot female. I named Dr. Dot. She is now with Geckos of Gaia. She's another breeder that does a lot of Repticons and Show Me Reptile shows. Speaking of Show Me Reptile show, if you were in the Marietta area at Marietta Labor Union Hall this weekend, okay, the 10th and 11th of May, there will be a Show Me Reptile show that I will be at personally. And I won't have him there, but I will have about 10 geckos I'm going to be bringing. And you can come, feel free to see my geckos and get a gecko if you want. I mean, plenty of beautiful geckos that I work with. So you can come see that 9 to 4 each day. Let's get back to the geckos. This is Everything Bagel. Okay, this came from Chocolate Chip and Dr. Dot. So his base is a very light base. He is a tiger crested gecko. It's very hard to see because he has so many spots, but he does have those lateral markings on the dorsal and that go over to the sides, making him a tiger as well. Okay. Now, a Dalmatian. Just like the dogs, it's going to be all these black spots that you see on him, okay? When you have under 100 spots, okay, this is textbook definition. Thank you, Northern Harbor. I appreciate that. Yeah, for a first year production, I am super pleased with how he turned out. I'm going to go over all the different spots he has, which is pretty much almost every type of spot that I know of right now that is out there. I've seen a couple at MP Cresties that have like a couple orange spots and a couple that have just white spots. I'm not talking about the white spots on the very sides here. Those are called portholes, but actually white spots on the other, just like in the middle of its head, there's a white spot. So I don't know if that has been reproduced yet, but I know she has a gecko with a white spot and then a couple with orange spots. So this guy here got red spots from his mom, Dr. Dot. And what's really cool, so Dalmatian is under 100 spots. A super Dalmatian, which this guy is here, is when it's over 100 spots. Okay? So if you have over 100, and that's considering the entire crested gecko, like belly and all, but this guy has way more than 100 spots just on him. I typically don't count like the underside of the gecko as spots. Some people do. I prefer not to, just because I mean, I let this talk for itself, how nice he is. So over 100 spots is a super Dalmatian. Now, a Dalmatian spot is just a little tiny little prick. Not him, the little spot, okay? Just a very, very tiny little circle. When it's a very big spot, okay, like these bottom ones, all up here, the very large spots, those are called ink spots. Just like you used to spill your ink. I don't know if anyone here is old enough. I know Northern Herper's been in the game for a while. I know he knows what the ink spillage looks like. So those are ink spots. When they're faded out and very light, like that one there, there's several of them on him. It's kind of hard to point out all the time, but he has several spots that look like faded out, kind of like a oil spot in your driveway when you spill oil on the driveway if you do your own oil changes. So The faded ones are oil spots. Okay? And what's really cool, he has the red spots on him, like I mentioned, but he also has red spots inside of his black spots. That is considered a bullseye, of course. Why are they all peeing right now? That's crazy. Oh, he pooped now too. Y'all are he didn't poop on the laptop. Okay, that's the good news. He did not poop on the laptop. But let me get some stuff so I'm not playing in this, because that would not be fun. I apologize, y'all. Safety and cleanliness first, of course. So, like I said, just use the F10 right here, or Rescue as well, veterinary disinfectants. Wipe that down, wipe off the afflicted area, and we're good. We're back in business. How old is he? He is about a year and a half old right now. So next week I'm going to be going into breeding and the specifics of breeding, that how I breed my crested geckos here at Georgia Cresties. He is about a year and a half old, so he is technically old enough to breed. He has gone through puberty, so to say, but he is not quite 45 grams yet. I always want my males or crested geckos in general to be at least 45 grams before I breed him. So another type of spot that there is a cluster spot. So I went over bullseye. See this one on his knee right there? That is multiple spots together. There we go, right there on the knee. That is considered a cluster spot. So when you have all of them together close, a cluster, and that is what that means. My favorite thing about the Super Dalmatians, they're pretty much my favorite morph to watch grow and keep growing and gaining spots, gaining pattern. I forgot what that's called off the top of my head. Don't know why. But yeah, so lily whites and progress. There we go, progress. Lily whites and Super Dalmatians to me progress the most from when they hatch to when they're full grown. It's really cool. Crested gecko or Super Dalmatians and Dalmatians in general will continue to grow spots up until about 30 grams or so. So if you have a little baby that has just a very few spots, don't worry. With each shed, it will go ahead and, or not go ahead, but more and more spots will reveal themselves and come to light, and you'll be able to just see. It's really cool. Like every time you open up the tank, you just see more and more spots, and it's just really, really cool. Like, wow, like I created this, and it's like doing so good. My favorite part about the Super Dalmatians, all the spots on the head. I mean, just look at that. That's crazy. It's just so cute having all the spots on the face. There's something I really like. And out of a first year production, it's crazy to have this kind of Super Dalmatian. Okay? Like it is wild. Let me show you Chocolate Chip real quick. Let me get him out. I didn't prepare him. I just planned on showing this for my Super Dal. I mean, because look how amazing. But so this is the first generation of kids. I believe this was the seventh kid out of that pairing. Okay. Let me get the dad out so you can see like how far it's come already. Where are you? Where are you? Here. Are you here? Yes, you are. He's hiding in one of the little buckets that I hung up for him inside. He was probably just sleeping and I woke him up, honestly. But hey, it's time for you to be up. So, this is the first year. This is the male that I got from AJD Reptiles in North Carolina. Okay, so you can see he's very nice. He has an ink blot. He has a few just Dalmatian spots on him, but he is a Super Dalmatian crested, a Super Dalmatian crested gecko. There's huge ink blots, and then you can see the oil spot here better in the middle of his head, how those are faded out. But to go from that to the baby that you just saw there, Everything Bagel, like that is a huge improvement for just one season already. So I can't wait to get a female for Everything Bagel. If you want to do a collaboration, inbox me here or Instagram. I'll probably reply to Instagram faster. So if you have a red spot, bullseye, Everything Bagel type gecko, Super Dalmatian, I would be interested in doing a collab with you for next season. But yeah, so huge spots. Again, he has good structure. Everything Bagel, he has a little smaller. Yep, yellow. Love the yellow base. I love having light bases. I do have. So when I saw him in the live that AJD was doing, I saw he was darker, and so I thought I was getting more like of a brown gecko. He produced a couple brown ones, a couple brown babies. A Dr. Pepper, I sold him at the last show. If you see here, he has a little Mickey or a little heart on his cresticles. Boop. See right there, boop at the cresticles. A little Mickey, a little heart. Got all the hearts. So yeah, that is chocolate chip. Let me get out the next gecko that I wanted to show you. So does anyone have questions about Dalmatian, Super Dalmatian, red spots, bullseye spots, any of that? All right. So this is another, I wanted to go over another tricolor again. I know I love tricolors. I'm working with them a lot. My yellow Dell is a wild child. Yeah, I know. I like to usually when I'm getting a crested gecko, if I'm not at a show getting them, I will request. I know it's kind of weird, but I'm not a tire kicker, okay? I actually buy the geckos that I inquire about. So here is, this is from Two Girls Geckos, I believe. No, it is not. Give me 1 second. Let me look it up real quick. She's on my recent Southern Girl Geckos. Yep, no, Southern Girl Exotics. So she is from South Carolina. Great breeder. She has a ton of really nice gargoyles as well. Maybe I can get her on the show one day, hopefully. But so this is a male from her. I was able to breed him this season with another a gecko I produced from Athena and Nike. Nike is no longer with us. He didn't die. I sold him. Okay, he's cool. He's chilling. He's doing great. But and so I paired Tiger's Eye with him, and so I will have really really nice tricolors. I love how this white wall at the bottom. It's not like a full wall. It's kind of like waves of white there. Let's see, and then whoop, see waves of white, and then that orange that comes in underneath. I love the orange patterning that comes in underneath and shows up. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that wonderful structure. I'm always wanting to further the structure that I get in all of my geckos. Again, perfect like head, perfect dorsal, short nose, very very nice. Thank you, Northern Harper, as he tries to mess up the broadcast. But this is Olympus. All right. So I love having just the really, I love when the white goes all the way up the crest there. So you have just like the thick white crests that go all the way down the head into the dorsal. And then that thick white dorsal that we have. He's not a lily white, okay, not at all. But he still has that nice white dorsal. I like having complete like that. And then so we just went over Dalmatians. In all of my other geckos, I don't like to have spots. I have bred spots before. That was still like my first couple years, and just because it was geckos that I really wanted to, that I loved, and that were calm, and I was still new, and so I was like, cool. And so they produce spots. That's cool. But for a professional standpoint and like going forward and growing, I only like to have spots on my super Dalmatians. I don't really like to work with regular Dalmatians. Go big or go home, right? So we're gonna do it right. And so I don't like to have in anything else, especially my tricolors here and lily whites. I won't have. I don't like any spots at all. So it's okay to have spots, but it's also okay to want to have perfection. I'm always striving to be better with my geckos and wanting to produce the best that I can. And to me, only having spots on super Dalmatians is amazing, and not having spots and having a clean base on here is just, it fits my aesthetic better. I like the look of them more. And I mean, it's okay to want perfection, y'all. Okay, it's okay to not have to. I mean, geckos with spots are beautiful as well. I'm not saying don't get them; they're amazing. But if you're wanting to breed, I don't see why you would want just a number of spots if it wasn't like 100 or more. People do work with that. Of course, if they have other morphs that are very higher, like sought out, lily whites, cappuccinos, stuff like that, frappuccinos, xanthics, you do have spots on them, and that's just because it happens. Most geckos will have spots, but you don't have to have spots on them. That's why it's good to have lineage for your geckos, so you can see what the parents look like and maybe grandparents if that information is available. Next, I have two other geckos to go through. If any geckos you want to see before we end the show tonight, just put that in the comments. Any geckos you want to see. So these next two geckos are ones that I'm actually going to pair next season when the male that I show you next comes out. So next season, I really want to work with Ketchup here. Okay. So Ketchup, you can see here, she is a beautiful red gecko. The camera doesn't really do her justice. She kind of looks rust red, but she is a deep Georgia red, I assure you. And you can see how she doesn't have any pattern on her, but she does have this black patterning on her. Okay, that makes her a bicolor crested gecko. And you can see here that what I was talking about earlier with the portholes, very, very tiny white dots on the side. Those are portholes. For me, in the project that I'm wanting to do, I don't want to widen the portholes. I want more of a patternless look to where there's basically nothing on the sides at all. I just want an all red or all black gecko. That's what I really want. I want an all red one. So I can name it Charizard, of course, being basic. And I just love just the all black crested geckos. For those that don't know, the three main base colors of crested geckos are black, red, and yellow. So, so I've had Ketchup here for a little over 2 years. Okay, she's just been waiting for a male with her. Look how cute she is. So, and then I finally found that male, the one that I said I couldn't hold out on, Juice World. I'm bringing him out next. So she is going to go with Juice World next year. And the cool thing is about her, she came from HS Cresteds um, up north around the New York area. Not exactly sure off the top of my head. But her parents here are both all black. So it was really cool. The dad produced 25% red, 75% black. So again, good to know your lineage, good to know the genetics of the crested gecko as well. So you can see here that black came from the dad, and the mom was all black. They were both. Will you stop trying to screw this up for me? I mean, not screw it up, but I don't want to like lose y'all because my laptop kind of slow. So, but yeah, no, don't do that. Yeah. Okay. Yep. See, mess them up, but we're gonna go with it. Okay. So real nice. The mom was the bicolor, and the dad was the patternless. So she was got red and bicolor. So she was really cool. Let me go ahead and get out the last gecko that I'm gonna be showing off here tonight. That is Juice World. Juice World is my favorite rapper. That's why he has the name. And you'll see why I named him Juice World. He's not quite fired up all the way, unfortunately. Oh, this is actually be a cool little learning tool for everybody. So, this right here is Juice World. Okay, let's see if you will cooperate. Juice World. So he is a phantom crested gecko. Phantom means when you have this like patternless look on the side, and then the almost non-pattern in the middle of the dorsal going all the way down. When you have that, it is considered a phantom, along with a phantom pinstripe. So you can see here at the back. Sorry, he's still new, so I haven't worked with him a lot, so he's a little wily. He does have the pinstripe down on the bottom here, but it goes away and turns black. So we call that a phantom pinstripe. Don't I do too. I really wanted to get like a patternless for Ketchup, but as soon as I saw him, I knew I had to get him. He does get very, very black. Okay, so he's pretty much halfway fired up here. If you can see it, he's kind of, it's what we call a misfire, where he's partially fired. Yep, you can see how it's like very light base right there. Ooh, very light there, and then darker on the sides. Hold on, we have an escapee. That is called a misfire. So misfires are really cool. It happens naturally. It doesn't hurt the geckos at all. My hair looking crazy. It doesn't hurt the geckos at all. It's just from when they're sleeping. If the sunlight is coming in at a certain angle and they're sleeping in the leaves or something, they where the sun hits, they will kind of fire up, and where the sun isn't hitting, it will stay. It will remain fired down. So I have geckos where they'll have like the imprint of the leaf, or not imprint, but they'll have the design of the leaf on them. See, I knew I should have moved. There we go. So you can see it looks like he is a phantom quad as well. He has that little line on the side, but I'm hoping when I'm pairing to Ketchup, it'll produce more of the patternless look. So I was looking at his mouth, seeing if there's anything wrong. But yeah, so really cool. He has no spots. It's been really hard for me to find any phantoms with no spots. A lot of them do. If you remember me saying in the last broadcast and in the last live, um, I've been looking for him for 2 years. So it took 2 years for me to find him, but I finally did. He still has to gain about 20 pounds. Or sorry, not pounds. I need to lose 20 pounds. He needs to gain about 20 grams before I can breed him. But yeah, so that is what's coming up next year on the Georgia Cresties team. So if you like Phantoms, Tricolors, Extreme Harlequins, Lily Whites, and I'm not working with, I'm not doing any Super Dalmatian pairings, but if you like any of those, I will have those available. I will be bringing one baby from Galaxy and Heisenberg, Extreme Harlequin Tricolor from Gecko Junkie? Yeah, Gecko Junkie. From Tristan. This one? No, this is a little tiny one, Northern Herper. I don't know what you're talking about. He's only 20 grams. But yeah, so you can see here that he has dropped his tail. We call that a frog butt. Okay? The tails very help them a lot with balance, but it's not necessary as their defense mechanism. We talked about it before. But yeah, so again, he's very beautiful. I just want to go ahead and remind y'all again, if you're in the Marietta area this weekend, March 10th and 11th, not March, May 10th and 11th, sorry, I will be there at the Show Me Reptile Show at the Marietta Labor Union Hall. I know, I said 20 pounds. I'm thinking about my own weight I need to lose. But we will work on that after the gecko show, because I'm more focused on the geckos. So thank you all again for joining us tonight. Next week, or next episode, which will be not next Tuesday, the Tuesday after that, I will be going over my breeding schedule, everything that I plan on breeding for this season, and to give you a little snippet, a little look on the inside of what I expect to produce and what y'all can expect to be seeing from me in the future. So thank you all for joining tonight. I appreciate it. This is Josh with Geckoverse. Georgia Cresties out. Keep it Cresty, bestie.